everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Whether you're watching this full of faith, full of questions, or feeling tired, overwhelmed, or discouraged, I want you to know something right away. This message is for you. Today, I want to talk about why prayer and faith are so important. Not just in church, not just on Sundays, but in our everyday lives. Because prayer and faith are not just religious habits, they are lifelines. Let's start with prayer. Prayer is simply talking to God. It's not about using big words. It's not about sounding perfect. It's about relationship. Prayer is where we come just as we are, broken, grateful, confused, hopeful, and say, God, here I am. When we pray, we're not telling God anything He doesn't already know. What we're really doing is aligning our hearts with Him. The Bible tells us in Philippians 4:6, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Prayer turns anxiety into peace. Prayer lifts burdens off our shoulders and places them into God's hands. And let me say this clearly. If prayer wasn't important, the enemy wouldn't work so hard to distract us from it. Prayer is powerful because it reminds us that we are not alone. Some of you watching this feel isolated. You feel unseen. You feel like no one truly understands what you're going through. But prayer connects you to a God who sees everything and still chooses you. Prayer is where healing begins. Prayer is where clarity comes. Prayer is where strength is renewed. Sometimes prayer changes our situation, and sometimes prayer changes us. Both are miracles. Now let's talk about faith. Faith is trusting God even when you don't understand what He's doing. Faith is believing God is working even when you can't see results. Faith is holding on to God's promises when your circumstances say otherwise. Hebrews 11:1 tells us, "Faith is the confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Faith doesn't mean we never doubt. Faith means we choose to trust God even with the doubt. Because real faith isn't built in comfort. Real faith is built in the waiting. Faith is what keeps us moving forward when life tries to stop us. There will be moments when prayers feel unanswered, moments when doors close, moments when you feel like giving up. Faith says, even now, God is still good. Faith says, my delay is not my denial. Faith says, God's timing is better than mine. And let me remind you of this, God has never failed. People fail, systems fail, situations change, but God remains faithful. Here's something powerful to remember. Prayer is how we talk to God. Faith is how we walk with God. Prayer without faith can become routine. Faith without prayer can grow weak. But when prayer and faith work together, lives change. Jesus Himself showed us this. He prayed constantly, before big decisions, before miracles, before the cross. If Jesus needed prayer, how much more do we? Prayer keeps our faith alive, and faith gives our prayers power. When you pray with faith, you're saying, God, I trust you with the outcome. Jesus said in Matthew 17:20, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move, and it will move. Notice He didn't say big faith. He said real faith. Let me speak to someone right now. If you're tired of praying and not seeing results, keep praying. If your faith feels weak, keep believing. If you feel like God is silent, He is still with you. Some of the biggest breakthroughs come after the longest waits. God is not ignoring you. God is preparing you. Prayer and faith also protect us spiritually. They guard our minds from fear. They protect our hearts from bitterness. They keep us grounded when life feels unstable. Without prayer, we carry burdens we were never meant to carry. Without faith, we depend only on our own strength, and that strength runs out. But when we pray and walk by faith, we tap into God's strength, and His strength never fails. Let me say this gently, but honestly. You can't survive spiritually on yesterday's prayer, and you can't live today on yesterday's faith. Prayer is daily. Faith is daily. Just like your body needs food, your spirit needs prayer. Just like you breathe to stay alive, faith keeps your soul alive. And finally, prayer and faith draw us closer to God. They build intimacy. They deepen trust. They remind us who we belong to. When life is good, pray. When life is hard, pray. When you understand, pray. When you don't, pray. And through it all, hold on to your faith, because the same God who brought you this far will not leave you now. If this message spoke to you today, I want to encourage you. Make prayer a priority, not a last option. Hold on to your faith even when it's tested. God hears you. God sees you. God is working right now. Thank you so much for watching. May your faith grow stronger, and may your prayers be answered in God's perfect time. God bless you.